Well, hey, it's Rob, and welcome to the 2022 Atlanta International Auto Show. I'm big into, industrial carpeting. I don't know, I think these designs are really cool. They use conventional halls and things like that. Here we are at the entrance of the Atlanta Auto Show, and I've got to say, if one word could sum it up, it would definitely be disappointing. Maybe I'm used to Detroit or LA or bigger auto shows, but I think in general they're just not the spectacle they used to be, and you just don't see people bringing out interesting stuff. It's just kind of stuff that you would see on the street at a lot of these shows, with the exception of maybe, half dozen cars that I was interested in seeing. Here is the Mustang Machi GT in school bus yellow. A lot of people really think these shouldn't be called Mustangs or whatever. They're just going to have to get used to it. It's a nice looking car, as far as I'm concerned. And here's the Maverick, which I've owned since January. I haven't seen a single one on the road. I'm the only one who's got it, apparently. So this one's a little fancier than the one I have. I think next we're going to see one that's more like the one I'm currently sitting in now. There we are, doing this little voiceover. So like I said, I'm just used to a bigger show, I guess, and just not all that impressive here at the Atlanta International Auto Show for 2022. This is the new Ford Lightning electric Ford 150. It's interesting, you can get one that costs $40,000 or one that costs $100,000. There's a real range on these things. Of course, the cool thing about these is the giant frunk in the front. Since there's no motor, it's really like a huge trunk, which of course you never had before on a pickup truck. Really, some of the more interesting things at the show are these cars, which were brought over by Caffeine and Octane, which is the TV show that I work on currently. You can see it, I think, on Motor Trend TV now, and they brought some cool old stuff, Internationals, Jeeps, some vintage Broncos, mixed in with the newer ones right there. The OJ style Bronco, forever associated with that thing. And we'll just spin around here and see a few more of them. New Bronco I think is pretty cool. I wouldn't have much use for one, but good for them. They're making cars that people actually like again. How about that? Here was some teenage band trying to warm up, and mercifully they hadn't gotten to playing their song yet. So there's one bonus. These are the exotic cars. Caffeine and Exotics is a different car show, at least here in Atlanta, that's held in Sandy Springs. Caffeine and Octane is held in Dunwoody, and they got a bunch of people to bring their cars over. Maybe they just paid nothing for this space because it wasn't filled with anything else. Like I said, I really miss the kind of quirky manufacturers and, offbeat stuff you'd never see anywhere else. This was not that show at all. Here's a bunch of Vipers for you. And we will move back along here. Back to the real world and some more modern vehicles. I zipped through this show pretty quick, I gotta say. This is the Kia EV6, which is the same as the Hyundai Ioniq 5, basically underneath. All electric, little tall crossover. Nice looking car. Kia's always had really nice styling. I usually like anything that they come out with. Here is a very lime green 4Runner. Make your presence known. All right, and the new Datsun Nissan Z. Kind of a throwback in some ways to their 70s and 80s cars. Very nice looking car, actually. Couldn't sit in it or anything like that, but there you are, the Nissan Z. This right here is the new electric from Nissan, I believe. It's called the Araya. Nice looking, actually. I think the Subaru Solterra is the same thing as this one. Not quite sure about that. This is the Z06, I know, because it says Z06 back there. This is the wide-bodied Corvette they're coming out with. If the Corvette wasn't awesome enough for you, you can go with one of those. But hey, this looks plenty nice to me, and a color my wife will really love. And to wrap it up, this is the first car you see, a Chevy Spark. And that's kind of how I feel about the show. Very unimpressive and not much to look at. All right, hopefully maybe next year we'll get something better. See ya.